So very good day to everybody present here. So today's topic is all about problems of development in the services sector. So we are going to understand the significance of India's foreign investment, and this is especially for you, my dear students, dear colleagues, faculty members, and young researchers. This is Professor Dr. Christo Ananth for you, and you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning this session, let me thank God for giving me this golden opportunity to deliver this useful session to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students and young researchers. So this is what we are going to discuss at a glance about the problem in the services sector, about the significance of the country's direct foreign investment. So today's session will have a brief insight about the services sector, and then we'll discuss about CAGR, country's compound annual growth rate, and then we discuss about the present problem, the COVID versus the services sector, and then we understand the significant developments of the services sector in our country. Like I belong to a country of origin in India, so I'm going to show you some glimpses about the significant developments of the economic sector, and then I'll discuss about the 6 health tech startups that's going to make a major boom, and then about the telemedicine market, about the significance of various advancing developments in the services sector, and how the contribution of services sector will make a right way in the Indian economy. And then I will conclude today's session with some references, and then I have some short video. If the management permits, I can show you a short video about the GDP services sector over the years from 1990 till 2020. So about the services sector, it's making a huge response whenever it comes to the India's GDP, and it has a very unfamiliar speculation because it has contributed to an enormous scope business. Whenever you talk in the case of the services sector, it is considered to be the largest of all in the about the various sectors that is present in India. And when we talk about the services sector, RGVA is accounting at current prices for the services sector. It is estimated around like 96.54 lakh crore Indian rupees in the financial year 2020 and 2021. Whenever you take in the case of the total India's GVA out of the 179.15 lakh crore Indian rupees, the services sector contributed to maybe 53.89%. So when you take in the case of the total GVA of 46.44 lakh crore, then our India's industry sector contributed to 25.92%. So as you know that agriculture being a vital part, they share around 20.19%. Our India's administration area, it covers a wide assortment of exercises, generally in the case of exchange, or maybe in and cafes, or maybe transport, or maybe stockpiling and correspondence, or maybe financing, protection, land, businesses, administration, local area, social as well as individual administrations. We have everything pertaining to the overall economic development. When you talk in the case of the most important aspect, CAGR, our administration area represented 54% out of the total GVA in the financial year 2021. And even in the case of the the compound annual growth rate, it accounted to nearly 11.43% to nearly 101.47 trillion billion dollars in the financial year 20. When you take in the earlier years, it was $1,005 billion in financial year 16. So comparative to $1,005 billion in financial year 16, we are able to find a rise. Okay, so it was $1,439.48 billion in financial year 20. So maybe if you compare like financial year 16 and financial year 20, when you consider the monetary, the land and the expert administrations, it expanded at a CAGR of 11.68% in Indian rupees. Whereas you take in the case of exchange or maybe INS or maybe transport, correspondence and administration, they are connected with a CAGR of 10.98% Indian rupees. Even in the case of India's IT sector as well as the business administration market, it is projected to arrive at $19.93 billion. So it's very huge, like 19 times it's higher by 2022. So administration trades, definitely it has a significant impact in and around India. And if you consider, according to the RBI data between April 2021 and September 2021, our India's administration trades remain at $114.58 billion, though the imports were stagnant. They remain at $65.08 billion. By 2021 October, our India's services business activity, the famous forum called Nikkei, they calculated the services purchasing manager index, which remained at 58.4, which contrasted to the 55.2 earlier recorded value of September 2021. So compared to 55.2, it generally recorded the services purchasing managers index of around 58.4. So this, if you compare it in August 2021, it was 56.7, and in September 2021 it was 55.2. Now it has come up to 58.4. So our COVID has had a huge impact on the services sector. Our export businesses was under tension because of the travel restrictions between states and between countries. Okay, so this actually created a burden to the worldwide sales. So here business certainty was at a 4-month high in December on a powerful interest because of the rising COVID cases, because we were administrating, we were witnessing, we were visualizing maybe 30,000, 35,000, maybe 40,000 cases in a day. So generally we had around like 35 million count of diseases. So generally this created a burden of we had huge cost for transportation, huge cost for vegetables and clinical hardware as well. And definitely this is going to render much cost to the clients as well. And even the central bank is not going to raise the loan cost because of the Reuters survey, because it is not creating tension among the people. Okay, according to the Reuters survey, which required last month, the expansion was around like 2% to 6% objective since July 2021, and they have rightly pointed out this entire scenario to be a vulnerability encompassing the viewpoint and an overall absence of the tension on limit, which generally prompted a re-established fall in work during December 2021. So all things are being considered, and this downfall was actually minimal, and a recuperation is normal this year would interest for the administration to stay ideal at this time. So there has been significant developments back. If you observe like 4 months back in October 2021, our India's service exports generally increased by 23.52% to reach US $20.86 billion, while the imports stood around like $12.7 billion. In June 2021, our India's exports generally increased by 48.34% to generally $32.5 billion. So which means that we are in the 7th consecutive month of growth. So we are witnessing huge development over these months. Our services sector was the greatest contributing factor of foreign direct investment (FDI), which is worth US $88.95 between April 2000 to June 2021. So our services category ranked first in foreign direct investment by the the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. During the first half of 2021, our private equity investment in India stood at US $11.82 billion when compared to $5.43 billion US in the same period last year. So in August 2021, the Department of Telecommunication generally issued a letter of intent to OneWeb, that's actually backed by the Bharti Group, satellite communication services licenses. Still, we are able to witness by July 2021, the Tata, very famous Tata Teleservices, collaborated with Zoom video communications to offer the bundle communication services. And in April 2021, MOE, Ministry of Education, and UGC, University Grants Commission, they started a series of online interactions with the stakeholders to streamline forms or maybe forums and processes to reduce the compliance burden in the higher education sector. So that was actually an advantage for the higher education commissions as well as the higher education institutions, because they were in line with the government's focus on ease of doing the businesses to enable ease of living for the stakeholders. By October 2021, the Health Ministry's e-Sanjeevani telemedicine services crossed 14 million, approximately 1.4 crore teleconsultations since its launch, and we had like regular healthy patient to doctor consultations from the confines of their home and doctor to doctor consultations as well. So we had like 6 genuine, good, healthy health tech startups. So in April 2021, Elon Musk's SpaceX has started accepting pre-orders for the beta version of its Starlink satellite internet service in India for a fully refundable deposit of $99 US, and generally DOT, Department of Telecommunication, is screening the move, and more developments will be unveiled soon in the near future. And in December 2020, a cohort of 6 health tech startups like Arokya, Artificial Intelligence, Brainsight AI, Fluid AI, InMed Prognostics, and Wealthy Therapeutics and Onward Assist generally have been selected by the Indian Edison Accelerator. Generally, it was fueled by the GE Healthcare. We had a first startup partnership program which focused on the Indian mentors. Generally, we are able to create several strategic partners to co-develop the healthcare solutions, and we are expected to shift the digitally enabled remote consultations via the teleconsultation. So that has been one of the huge markups in the health tech startups. Even in the case of telemedicine market, we have been witnessing a huge increase in CAGR of 31% from the year 2020 to 2024. In December 2020, the Gamma Skills Automation Training introduced a unique robotics and automation career launch program for the engineers. You call it to be Industry 4.0 Hands-on Skill Learning Center, which is located at IMT Manesar, Gurgaon in Haryana. In December 2020, the Ignite program was initiated by Siemens, BMZ, and MSDE in order to encourage the higher quality training and technical education. So this has been one of the greatest initiatives, and this Ignite was aimed to develop highly trained technicians with an emphasis on getting them ready for the industry. So industry ready and future has generally pivoted to the DVET model. Okay, it is German dual vocational education training model. So by 2024, generally this Ignite program is aiming to upskill 40,000 employees, and back in October 2020, it was Bharti Airtel which entered this cloud communication market with the launch of the business-centric Airtel IQ. So that has evolved to this Ignite program. So generally it is aiming to upskill 40,000 employees. So definitely we will see a greater boom in the telemedicine market. So there has been significance of the advancing developments in the services sector as well. So Indian government perceives the significance of advancing development in administration area, and we are having several motivation courses across a wide assortment of areas like medical care, travel industry, training, designing, interchanges, transportation, data innovation, banking, money, and so on. And we are having several useful tasks initiatives as well. So back in October 2021, the Indian government endorsed the foundation of 157 new clinical schools in order to support the openness of reasonable well-being medicines among the residents. And the public authority even has sent a PLI plan to help assembling of telecom as well as systems administration items in India. So that has been a huge innovative and huge initiative by the Indian government in the services sector. We have been witnessing several advancing developments because the plan, the PLI plan that we have developed is set to draw a bench of around 3,345 crore US for $446.22 million. So generally throughout these 4 years, it has brought a extra work for 40,000 people. So that's the reason by 2025 it is going to plan for upskilling 40,000 people. So in October 2021, the public authority sent up a stage 2 of Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship to enable understudies and lift ability improvement as well. So we had Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, which was sent off by the public authority to fortify the basic medical care network access across the India in a span of 4 to maybe 5 years. Also, the Indian as well as the UK joined the 11th Economic as well as the Financial Dialogue to talk about the FTA, Open Doors in Administrations, and special credit to the non-food ventures, which remain at rupees $110.86 trillion as of November 5, 2021. Also, there has been assistance area as well in the biggest beneficiary of FDI in India, with an inflow of 83.14 billion US dollars between April 2000 and June 2020. So there has been innovative work administrations. So back in the Global Innovation Index of 2020, India positions around like 48 among the total 50 nations. So that has been a downfall. This area generally represents a huge chance for worldwide partnerships across the world due to exceptionally prepared Indian labor supply, accesses at several serious expenses, and scholarly capital accessible in the Indian market. So a few MNCs have moved on and they are moving their innovative part in India, and also we are able to assist this multinational companies with either a growing of new imaginative items in order to serve the neighborhood market, or maybe as the parent with accompanying to conveying items. So our R&D generally has contributed around 2% of the nation's complete GDP continuously right now in 2022. Even with the case of telecom administrations, according to the financial year 20 by TRI, India has a normal remote information use of around 11 GB each month for every endorser, as generally it would be considered normal to arrive at 18 GB by 2024. So India would be the greatest customer of information around the world by 2024. Also, in the case of IT enabled services, ITES, generally we are owing to several financial states of India and quickly evolving remote businesses. The Indian ITES industry is currently making a step forward in expanding its region. Even we are making ourselves an intense contender for the global market. Even in the case of programming as well as IT empowered adjusted commodities, definitely we are offering several services which sends out ascending from 0.6% to a greater of 3.3% from 1990 to 2030. So with the case of the travel industry administrations, due to verifiable legacy, there has been assortment in environment, territories, rich cultures, and places of normal magnificence which spread the nation over. And the Indian travel industry and cardiology industry has seen significant administration areas in India. So tourism has been a wide attraction, and back in 2019, the absolute commitment of movement as well as the travel industry to GDP was around like 6.8% of the global economy. And back in 2020, the travel industry area in India represented 8% of the complete work in the country. So, which means that it's normal, like we had like 53 million positions will be made available in the Indian market by 2029. So I can very well conclude that our country's computerized economy is assessed to arrive at 1 trillion US dollars by 2025. By the end of 2023, we will witness India's IT as well as business administration area to arrive at US 14.3 billion dollars with 8% development. So, which means our goods and services tax has made a typical public market and has decreased the general taxation rate on the merchandise. So it is generally expected to diminish the cost on a long haul because of the accessibility of the GST input credit. Definitely it will decrease the cost in the administration as well. And our software services industry is relied to arrive at US 1 trillion US dollars by 2030. So these are the references I had made. So definitely you would have enjoyed much about the significance of India's direct foreign investment. So definitely that has been the upward path in the global market among the Asian countries. So thank you for your patience and thank you for the time that has been given with respect to the India's foreign direct investment, and definitely the services sector and the economic sector, we had a further contribution. Whenever you are talking about the IT and the business sector, they were actively contributing even amidst this COVID pandemic. We have been witnessing some huge India's direct foreign investment. So thanks to the collaboration of the Indian government with the other countries, especially in the global economy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to showcase some of the countries' significant developments, significance of direct foreign investments towards the services sector, and definitely this is going to pave a right way in the Asian market, and definitely we can get some information out of it. So that's the reason I'm trying to show you some of the statistics that we have experienced in 2020 and 2021.